Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining us for the weekly reading. This is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot. I'm just going to be seeing if there are any messages from Spirit for Sagittarius for this week. This is a general reading. It won't apply to everyone. Sun, Moon, and Rising Sagittarius. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't try to, force the fit, as they say. Oh, it looks like that's about 4 cards. 5 cards for you this week, Sagittarius. All right. There's a bit of a glare here. I do apologize for that. Still working on the lighting here. We have first the moon. Maybe there's something hidden, something that's a little hard to see. We have the King of Pentacles, Sagittarius. Just bringing in some energy of financial stability and strength there. The Knight of Cups brings nice joyful energy to things. Sagittarius is looking good so far. We have the 9 of Wands. This came out earlier for someone. This is, you've fought many battles. You've won many battles. You're a little worse for the wear. You can see he's got some bandages on his head. But you have won. Look at all the wands that he's won from other battles. And he's still standing. That fox is still standing. So your last card is the Queen of Pentacles, which is interesting. This is a sensuality, getting in touch with the full pleasures of having a body. There's a nurturing there. There's a warmth. And you have the King and the Queen, Sagittarius. So what do we have here? What kind of week are we looking at? Let me see if I can just tune in for a moment to what Spirit is telling me. There's something hidden. It doesn't feel, nefarious or really icky. I don't have a bad feeling, but something isn't clear. Something hasn't been shared yet. Something's a bit confused. No, it's not confusion. It's just subconscious. It's not. There are 2 people and they both understand something, but they haven't really had a conversation about it, and they may not themselves actually understand fully what they're feeling, because it's a feeling. There's just definitely a water sense to this. There's this emotion. And I think I think it's a married couple. It could be just, a long-term couple that's been together but not necessarily married. And it could be 2 men, 2 women. It doesn't have to be a man and a woman. Here we have an owl and a woman holding a goat. So, it doesn't matter. It's masculine energy, a feminine energy. There's this financial security wed with this sense of sensuality and earthly comfort. And I do sense that it's 2 people and there's something between them. There are people that are in a couple together presently, but there's something that they're both feeling, but they're not necessarily knowing yet, not consciously knowing. That's a little obscure, and it would be nice to have a little clarity on that, Spirit. It's something they're both feeling, but they're not yet aware that they're feeling it. Wow, okay. All right, this is very specific, but what I'm hearing from Spirit is that there's a couple and they've decided to have a child. They both have sort of decided subconsciously that they want to be parents, and they haven't even told themselves yet. But they're going to be having this conversation about this matter. Something is going to spark a conversation this week, Sagittarius, between the Sagittarius I'm speaking to and their partner about wanting to be parents. And that's a really overwhelming conversation. And what we have here is this sense of joy, because it feels like the right decision. It feels like, oh, well, of course, that's what we've been thinking, even though we weren't really aware. And there's a sense of joy about that. But I also have this, it's going to be a lot of work vibe going on, but the joy tends to be overriding that. It's two people having a really honest conversation about what it means to be parents and deciding whether or not they want to proceed. I don't know what the outcome is. I don't know if you'll decide for sure that you do want to move forward with that, with adoption or trying to conceive. I'm not sure, Sagittarius, what the answer is there, but there's definitely a sense of two people. Some catalyst event occurs and it gets you both talking, and you both realize that without even knowing it, you actually do want to have that in your life. You want to be a parent. Wow, well, that's interesting, Sagittarius. I'd be really curious to see feedback from anyone that pertains to. It's not really the message I normally get when I do these little readings. That's exciting. That's really exciting. All right, so we have here the Dragon Oracle. We're just going to see, Sagittarius, if there is a message here, a further message from Spirit for Sagittarius for the week. Any further guidance for Sagittarius for the week, Spirit? We'll do one more. If not, we'll take off the top. Any guidance for Sagittarius? Yep. Excuse me. We have the golden crested dragon. Bring your higher love so that you embody the Christ light. It tends to, I guess these cards tend toward a Christian aspect. I wasn't aware of that, but absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. Well, it's interesting because parenting certainly does expand your heart. It's often said that you don't know what that love feels like until you actually are a parent, and I remember thinking that was a bunch of hooey and it couldn't possibly be true, and then I had a child. And it absolutely is true. So I see this card going in line pretty well with what we saw in the other cards, Sagittarius. I think it's going to be an interesting week for you. And maybe if that is not, that's really specific, maybe there is an overlaying interpretation in that read that you and another person decide you want to create something together. Maybe not a child, maybe not becoming parents, maybe not going out and adopting a child, but beginning to build something, to create something together. That could also, Spirit is saying that could apply to some of the Sagittarius viewers out there, that it's you and another person, a love interest of some sort that may want to create something. For some of you, it absolutely will be this conversation about becoming parents, but for some of you, it will be something else. A nest egg, perhaps. That's what I'm hearing. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. We really appreciate having you here. If you would like to join us over on Facebook, we're trying to build a tribe over there. I have a page. Encourage you to share with the crew over there. I do have room for about 10 personal readings this month. So if you're interested in that, the information is down below in the info box. And please let me know soon, as I'm sure that the calendar will fill up again. I'm hoping next month we'll have a little bit more space, but this month's been a little crazy already. So that is that. And like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Would be most grateful for your joining our crew and subscribing to the channel. And if there's any feedback that you can give me on these messages and how they relate, if they relate, I'd appreciate that too. Thank you again, Sagittarius. I hope you have a wonderful week. Blessings.